It is a Gregorian chant, typically sung at a Mass for the dead. This attention-grabbing piece describes the Day of Judgment, the last trumpet summoning souls before the throne of God. O day of wrath, O day of mourning, see fulfilled the prophet's warning, heaven and earth in ashes burning.
Lo with fear men's bosom rended, when repented, the judge descended, on whose sentence all depend.
So, who here knows the song Amazing Grace? Everyone who does, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Now, who actually knows the meaning of Amazing Grace? Everyone who does, say aye. I'm surprised. But for those of you who don't know it, Amazing Grace is a piece written by a former slave trader, John Newton. Now, to quickly summarize his journey, John Newton has lived through a rather unfortunate and troubled childhood. His mother had died when he was just six. He spent years fighting against authority, going so far as trying to desert the Royal Navy in his 20s. He was later abandoned by his crew in West Africa and was forced to be a servant to a slave trader, but was eventually rescued. Already, you can tell that he didn't have the best past. But a violent storm hit and caused a large cavity to form on the ship he was on, which prompted Newton to begin his prayer to God. When suddenly, it was as if his prayer had been answered, and the hole had been miraculously covered by cargo on board. Amazing Grace brings a sense of tranquility to the listeners, with mellow yet impactful lyrics paired with the ballad-like chords of the piano. A gentle wave of nostalgia is sure to wash over the audience. The text, "I once was lost, but now I'm found," paints John Newton's story and how he was freed from his dark and sinful past. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, that saved a wretch like me. The story of a man rising up from an undesirable past creates inspiration for listeners to shape themselves into individuals better than we once were. It not only paints Newton's once personal story, but allows the audience to put themselves in those shoes in a moment of reflection and awakening.
Years ago, in the late 1800s, there was a trio of trading brothers known as the Williams, who would trade different goods, such as gunpowder, rum, oils, and spices. Their business made great success in the whaling industry during their time around colonial New Zealand. As this is their business, the song makes reference to them. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar, tea, and rum.
Over time, from the 60s to the present day, many renditions have been made of this song. The Wellerman is a folklore song from years ago. This rendition of the song by Jacob Neverett is somewhat different from other renditions. It sounded more like a choir song than a traditional sea shanty. Now, as the whale we hunt pulls us out to sea, we can only hope that the Wellerman will come with sugar and tea and rum, that someday when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O T. The winds blew up her bow, it down, oh blow, my men boys blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her head to the side. Harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. A line we dropped, all in pursuit. She raised her tail one last salute, but the harpoon caught, there's no dispute. She took that ship in tow. And then for 6 months, 6 months, and she sailed us sailing our mind until we were too tired to fight. Then we let her go. But soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. We'll take our leave and go. We'll take our leave and go.
You know, there's a lot of joys in conducting a men's choir, and one thing I have to compliment these guys on, just how emotionally stable they are. They are just so consistent.
What's wrong? Everything's wrong, man. Oh man, I spent so much time and effort into our relationship, and oh my gosh, man, you don't even know. Oh my, money? Oh my gosh, I spent so much money. It's like nothing. It's nothing satisfies. Like,
Well, what are you doing to improve?
to improve my technique.
Technique?
I hired an instructor last week to help me with my hips and my hands and you know, it's nothing's working, man.
Well, what's this girl's name?
Her name? Gold. Every month
of the year. When it's stormy or clear, there's a place you can always find me.
Very calm and serene, looking down at the creek, while waiting my turn at the tee.
I may never shoot par, for my shots don't go far, though I swing and I slug with great force.
Still I play right along, doing everything wrong. You'll find me all over the course. Oh, the golf club has bitten me good. I'm in love with the putter, and I and the wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame, 'cause golf is a crazy, wonderful game. I spent hours with the pro, feeling sure he would know how to help me with good sound advice. But the lessons I took to get rid of the hook just gave me a terrible slice. I can't rotate my hip, I don't use the right grip. I suppose that I'm pressing too hard. By the time that I had all the strokes that I've had, I secretly tear up my card. Oh, the golf club has bitten me good. I'm in love with the putter, and I and a wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame, 'cause golf is a crazy, wonderful game. I've decided to play 18 hours every day, and perhaps now and then maybe more. Or until I'm too old or so tired that I fold, I'll try to improve on my score. If I figured the cost of the balls that I've lost and equipment I bought at the shop, it would probably come to a sizable sum. But now it's too late, I can't stop. Oh, the golf club has bitten me good. I'm in love with the putter, and I and the wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame, 'cause golf is a crazy, wonderful game. Wonderful game.
I'd like to take just a moment to introduce you to our next ensemble here. This is Suono Divino, which has traditionally been our second level choir for soprano alto voices. Except in this instance, many of these singers have not been in a choir since about spring of 2020. So a lot of these, I think more than half of them, were preparing to sing this concert in February, or March, I guess it was, of 2020. We were actually in the theater. We had our first run through, and and that's like the day that we got sent home, never got to perform the concert, so I was back, and here we are. We finally get a chance to sing, and we're so excited, which makes this all the more special. I must say it's been an incredible privilege and joy to work with these young ladies, even in the very early 7 o'clock hour that we meet every day. I can be a lot to handle that early in the morning, I understand that, and but they've been nothing but a joy. They really, truly give their best for every single rehearsal, and they've grown into such a beautiful sounding choir. They're supportive, they're encouraging, they're dedicated, and so much fun to make music with. The fact that most of them had, limited choral experience coming into this concert just blows me away, as you're about to find out with the sound that they're getting. So, really excited for you to hear them, and without further ado, I'll invite another, oh goodness gracious, another grade 12 senior, I think, in Miss Dana Flynn, to introduce our first song. Coming down, Dana.
Hi. Has anyone here ever overheard someone talking and you try not to listen, but because you know gossip is wrong, but you listen anyway? This next song, Sigue, is a Cuban folk song warning a traveler of a sinister woman and to not stop, continue traveling when seeing her. This sound represents the footsteps of the bad woman. The story is told through a whisper-like sound, almost as if the choir is telling a secret. One unique aspect of the song is a playful Cuban rhythm, played by the piano, which leaves the listener feeling shaken. So we invite you to partake in this intriguing Cuban folktale, Sigue.
while applauding our strengths. In short, our loved ones encourage us to be the best we can possibly be, maybe even a little more than we think possible. The text of Paint Me was born out of a desire to be the person your best friend sees you as. As you listen to our piece, we invite you to think of that loved one who inspires you to be the best version of you. This is Paint Me. However, We Go Mine Eyes focuses primarily on the musical aspects of the performance rather than the lyrical message provided. In many ways, this is what gives it the power and potential to move people. Sometimes it is the simple act of experiencing a beautiful work of art which gives meaning to it. As you listen, I invite you to reflect upon what this piece means to you and to allow it to resonate on a personal level.
punctuated by love. However, Dear John was not originally created with the intention to be the choir song it is today. It actually made its first appearance in the 1984 Games magazine. It was featured in a contest that challenged writers to produce an original text that could be punctuated 2 different ways, with each creating its own unique idea. The unpunctuated lyrics of Dear John read, Dear John, I want a man who knows what love is all about. You are generous, kind, thoughtful people who are not like you, admit to being useless and inferior. You have ruined me for other men. I yearn, I have no feelings whatsoever. When we're apart, can't be forever happy. Will you let me be yours, Gloria? This piece will leave you all extremely thankful for punctuation, so we hope you enjoy it, because this song is so good we had to sing it twice.
Gospelship is a traditional spiritual song that shows hopefulness and courage through the lyrics. I could go into detail about how certain piano lines represent hope, or how some of the vocal lines represent a trumpet singing celebratory praises. But instead, all you really need to know is that the essence of the song is excitement. So, when I say gospel, you say shit! Gospel! Shit! Gospel! Shit!
And
Oh, I love it. That's what you want. That's really what you want. That's great. Oh, wow. Wow. It's just like being in class. That's really no, I'm not. That wasn't a joke. You're still laughing. Okay, all right. Well, before we close, I'd like to invite Forza back up. We're going to close the night up by singing two pieces with both choirs combined. But first of all, I'd like to celebrate the fact that many students come onto the risers here with skills, sensibilities that they've developed in drama, dance, musical theater, steel drum, and music composition. And for that, I have to acknowledge the impeccable work of my colleagues, Daniel Rashkin, Carol Jones, and Ashley Ross. Additionally, I'd like to express my gratitude and appreciation for Mr. Matt Chewy and his fantastic crew of students in the technical arts. They are responsible for our show being so beautifully lit this evening. In addition to just about every performing arts event that takes place here at MVHS, Matt is nothing short of a miracle worker for everything that he's done this year. We've had about, I don't know how many different shows, and I don't know, it seems like 5 or 6 different venues around campus, and he keeps finding ways to make it work. So thank you, Mr. Chewy. Most of you are probably aware of how rare it is to have a school thriving across so many disciplines within the arts. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our phenomenal administration team in Josh Jones, Genevieve Clark, and Jeremy Walden for supporting us and really championing our programs. Of course, a shout out to my incredible parent volunteers helping out at the front of house of the night, Deanna and Laura and Maricela, led by the incredible servant-hearted Susie Omari. And of course, you know where I'm going with this, the man behind the piano, my wonderful collaborator and accompanist, Mr. David Stanky. The next piece we're going to close the evening with is called Sing Gently. It was composed during the pandemic by a really famous choral composer by the name of Eric Whitaker, with the intention of celebrating this beloved art form that we shared with you here tonight and all of the people that it brings together. It's called Sing Gently.
Oh edge, running on the water, coming to the 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 edge, running on the water.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. What a great joy it's been to sing for you all tonight. We've got another concert this season, this term, coming up at the beginning of December. We're going to be putting together a winter holiday show filled with all the things that you would expect to hear that time of year. Really excited to share it with you. So we'll see you then. If you're a parent or guardian and you're going to be waiting for any kids, if you could just give me 10 minutes with them, we've got to strike this stage right quick, and then I'll send them right back to you. Thanks so much for coming. See you next time.